And we should be live. Check, 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 check. All right.
Hooray.
All right, I'll leave that Marvel Unlimited open so I can make mistakes later.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between excuse me, the ones that are highlighted in black and the ones that are just kind of normal looking?
I think the ones highlighted in black seem to be like new to comics. Maybe read X-Men. One of those things.
You could do this by character too.
Wow, really? It might also be... Maybe it's current series?
Sweet, I wonder if they have Wonder Man.
Oh, those are series that are currently running. Because all of them end with present. That's kind of cool. Avenging Spider-Man.
Let me guess.
Oh, you should...
When Spider-Man was in the Avengers.
Hey,
you know what you should check out is the Superior Spider-Man.
Okay.
That was fantastic.
Ooh, I wonder if they have Spider-Man 2099 in there.
Oh shit, they have Annihilation Silver Surfer? Oh, fuck, that was good.
Yep. Or Silver Surfer Requiem.
That was good too.
Nice. God, I have so much reading to do now.
I know. All for a really reasonable amount of money.
All because of Daredevil, because I started watching Daredevil and I realized I don't think I've ever read just a Daredevil comic. He's shown up in like other stuff I've read. I've never gone out of my way to read anything with Daredevil in it.
I haven't either. I've never... Is
I
his
used
stuff
to-
good?
Yeah.
Kevin
It's
Smith
good,
had a
it's
really
good
good
and it's
couple arcs.
weird.
Yeah.
Did you just say Kevin Smith had a couple good arcs?
Yes.
Yeah, so did Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck did the intro for most of Kevin Smith's story arcs.
Yeah. I know.
I feel like I'm in Bizarro World right now,
Right?
where Kevin Smith wrote a good comic book.
No, he did good with Daredevil. Well, it's the whole it's very based. Because Daredevil's very Catholic, and Kevin Smith's extraordinarily Catholic.
Oh, okay.
So it's sort of a good pairing.
Well, they don't have old X-Men, but boy, they do have the 5-year Dazzler run in the 80s.
Oh man,
Thank
you gotta
goodness.
have that. Variant covers and all.
We can only hope. Oh, they have Dark Avengers.
Nice.
A couple of runs of that. Yeah, man. Okay.
What the fuck
Sorry.
is this? Gillette unveils their concept for an Iron Man signature razor. What?
Is that from The Onion?
No, this is on the Marvel site. I'm clicking on it.
Oh, they have Death of Wolverine, too, which means I don't have to pay for it.
Nice.
I
Yeah,
heard
it
that
seems-
was bad.
Yep.
What?
It got real bad.
What? Death of Wolverine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I checked out right at the, like, as it's leading up to the conclusion. I'm like, I don't care anymore.
I can't do this anymore. Oh, they have the Dexter run, too, which I read a couple issues of that. That was pretty good.
All right, I gotta close that.
Yeah, I gotta...
That's
I'm gonna
making
sign
my
up for
head
that later,
hurt.
but... Oh, okay. Let's see if I can fix chat here. Okay. You guys got your Watchmen playing and everything? Somebody has some humming going on in the background. It's probably Knobs. With
Is
his
it?
phantom humming.
Yeah, I don't think it's me.
Is that still going? Is that still, like, audible?
Can I mute you? No, I can't. Whoop. Clicking things.
Well, let's see if I...
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
I don't know what that is.
I could just be the fan for the PC, I guess.
It might be.
Yeah.
Damn these quality microphones.
They're so good.
Reasonable and fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
There's something else I wanted to open up to, and I am just... Man,
I'm not here today. Just
yeah, my brain just cannot focus right now.
Alright, you guys got your Watchmen playing?
Mostly, yeah. I
Mostly.
feel like I missed a game. I don't know.
I gotta pull up the Crow's End run for this week to give some people some props. Whoops, nope, wrong button.
Yeah, I played 2 games.
I played 6. I don't know how I found the time this week.
Yeah, I'm barely.
I
found
didn't.
2.
Putting in 11-hour days. Ugh.
Raid. Recent. It's just me soloing it.
Nice.
There we go.
I'm gonna go all emo today.
The emo swoop.
What's up? What's up, Mary Jane?
That was on TV the other day, and I couldn't bring myself to watch it.
I think I rewatched it a few years ago, and I was like, God damn it.
Some of that movie was pretty good. The rest of it was really bad. It's so uneven, though, because some of it was pretty okay, but the rest of it was just really, really bad.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the 2 most recent Spider-Man movies, though.
I liked them, but I don't understand why everyone hated the second one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had no interest. The guy they got to play Peter Parker, I was like, he kind of looked like a douche.
He's so fucking perfect.
Yeah,
he does that manic thing so well.
He just the first time I saw him, I was like, I'm gonna punch you in the face. I don't know why. It was just my immediate reaction.
That's Peter Parker.
That's true.
He's a smart. Like no one realizes he's kind of a dick.
Yeah, a little bit.
He is. Yeah.
I would take the kind of out of that sentence, but yeah.
I don't know. I thought the casting great. Not only did he have the right body type for Spider-Man, anyway.
Yeah, like a whippet almost.
Yeah, like that real spindly, lanky, contortable body.
I'll make my official. I'll watch it and make my actual judgment call.
I really enjoyed it.
It has Emma Stone in it at the very least, so
yeah,
pluses and minuses.
But she was really good as Gwen Stacy.
Yeah,
I mean, fantastic. What else was there about that? Yeah, I don't know. Like, there are parts that, like Kevin Feige. I guess they released this thing with Kevin Feige, and he's giving notes to the director about the movie. Like, you could have done this. You could have. All of them were completely valid, and probably would have made the movie better. But I don't know. I just think Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker was great. He was even better behind the mask, since he had that really snarky attitude once the mask was on.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take a look at it then.
Do whatever you want. I don't care.
Hey man, I ain't your boss.
Not your fucking keeper. I thought he froze for a second too.
Probably did.
What?
Alright, you guys ready to do this thing?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
As ready as we're gonna be today?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston, and going around the room we have Knobs.
Hi.
Hi, his nose is very itchy.
Oh, it just happened.
Oh, as soon as we turn the cameras on, man. And we have the Hannah.
Hey.
Let's just dive right into it. Knobs, what have you been playing?
Hey, I played a couple games.
Couple by which you mean 2.
By the most literal version of a couple.
Yeah.
A pair.
Yes. Oh man, my neck's all stiff.
Oh yeah, watch out with that emo swoop. You gotta be careful. Gotta get the icy hot on your neck. I mean, it's not. It's a young man's game.
I know. I don't know this hair thing.
Yeah.
I guess it's not a bad problem to have.
Just burn it off.
Yeah. Fuck it.
No, don't do that.
Damn it.
All right. Well, we made it 9 minutes and 12 seconds into the episode. Knobs and I are really tired today, so.
It's gonna get a little loose in here.
Yeah.
There's buckets everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we had normal Battlefield nights Monday, Friday. It's a good time. I think we only had 3 of us, because everyone was super tired on Friday. Played for a little bit here and there, and I like woke out of my coma, played a couple rounds, and fell back asleep on Friday. Like, yeah, I'm punching the clock, so I'm just had zero fun. Just
getting it done, man.
I tell you what, that conquest where you the ship or the carrier assault rounds. Yeah, that's not our cup of tea. We are terrible at it.
You found your kryptonite.
Yeah, no, that whole game's my kryptonite. But
Well, that's true.
It's like the Papercut of video games. Like, you can't not play with it. Like, it's it's there. It's like it would heal if you would just let it alone. But it's I don't know. It's Battlefield still. We're doing it until hopefully I'm hoping Battlefront Star Wars is the new one. So much.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
I hope that game is every bit I hope it's going to be.
So many people already are so upset about it, and they're just like,
It's Star Wars. They're always they're upset Chewie isn't gray in the trailer.
well, and like one of the things
Seriously?
one of the
Yes!
things I saw was that people were upset because there were no space battles, and I was like, why would there be space battles? And people were like, well, that came out of the leaks. I was just like, that was like a decade ago. Like,
Well, like it's that sense of like, oh, well, we want space battles, so there should be space battles.
right? And it's
It's
like,
Why aren't there
Star-
space battles?
It's Star Wars. It's going to happen. Settle down.
well,
Yeah.
I don't think it will because it's Star Wars Battlefront. So, I think what they're talking about isn't like hop on a land speeder and go around the map. I think they're talking about you're above a planet and you're fighting. They're looking for X-wing versus TIE Fighter. But
Yeah, but
that's
you can
not
then
gonna
also
make that.
drop in and go to Battlefront,
Mm-hmm.
which you're talking about making two completely separate games at that point.
Yeah, there's no way.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't have the what was the RTS version of it of Star Wars?
Oh,
that was
I don't
Empire
remember.
of War.
Yeah.
Yes, that was one of my favorite, like top 3 favorite Star Wars.
Nobody
games.
played it either. It was good.
It was it was great.
Yeah.
Come on, you get to shoot the Death Star.
Right.
Like, it's the best.
No, wait, hold on. You get to shoot the Death Star in the movies. You get to shoot things with the Death Star.
Yes.
The Death Star is a unit.
Yeah. Did they have like any of the extended universe stuff, like the Eye of Palpatine or anything like that?
I think it's. I remember it sticking pretty close to kind of the movie canon.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. Some of like the giant weapons of like stellar destruction they had
Yeah.
in the extended universe were crazy.
The extended universe was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a reason why it's a moniker of fanfic.
yeah.
So-
There's also a reason why it's gone now.
There's some really great stuff in there.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so I played a whole bunch of that over the week. And then I think on Thursday, what was it, Thursday or Wednesday? I don't remember what day it was. I played some co-op Halo with Tom Gamer.
Oh.
I was too exhausted to stream any of it, so... Well, so, like, I'm, like, getting through that area of flood, and I am frustrated as all
Is this still
heck.
the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's just like... I just want this slog to be over at this point.
I like that this is your Sisyphean trial.
Yeah.
Pushing
Like,
that
it
rock,
is.
man.
I've got 3 more of these things to bang out.
Yep. And then eventually they're putting in ODST, so you'll have even more.
Yay.
Why not? Bucket. I'll do it.
Halo bucket it. Even and then Halo 5 will be out, and I mean you got to continue the story. Master Chief might be the bad guy now, man.
You've got to
I
finish
hope
the fight.
I hope so, because he is awful.
He really is awful.
He's just the worst. No, but yeah, so we're playing this, and we're in the area where we have to go to the light spires, and I jump in, lose my shield, and of course I get attacked.
No, naturally.
So we're hopping around there. We get to this one spot. We turn a corner. We get rocket launched by the plant people, the fungus guys, the flood.
Yeah.
So there's this random blind spot turns. Like, I was like, did he see it through walls? Because that was a pretty impressive shot.
Yeah. Wall
Then he
hacks going
proceeded to do it to us 2 more times. Like, and we knew it was coming. Like,
I mean, one time you figure like, okay, that was just really good timing,
yeah.
The AI just got a lucky shot off, but then after the third time, you're like, I might burn this disc. I might burn this house down.
Yeah, no, I'll microwave the thing. Screw it. Fuck
Yeah.
it. So then we go. So then we do it again. We get through the spot, and we get way far into this. Like we're about the part to wrap it up, and then we both get wiped by. We just got blindsided and overwhelmed, and then it reloaded us way back to the start of the entire chapter. I'm like, we're done.
That's it. Shut it down.
I'm done. If I have to fly another one of these flying things that are just awful, I don't want to.
Yep.
What is that ship called? Is it a Wraith or something?
The Ghost?
Ghost. Yes, that is. I thought the Warthog was bad.
They're all bad.
Yeah.
That is a nightmare.
My wife and I played a little bit of Borderlands 2, and as soon as I got into one of those vehicles, I was like, oh, right, these are garbage. Just like hopping in a Warthog, where it's like, okay, cool, nope, this is the worst.
I would say the Warthog's a factor of 10 worse than the Borderlands vehicles.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
Like, the Borderlands vehicles were squirrely, but they were manageably squirrely.
That's true.
This, I mean, I might as well be doing donuts across the street. Like, I mean, literally, I'm driving by the enemy. It's like, hey, Covenant. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Just yakety sax playing.
Yeah. I might as well just cue the curly sound. Why not?
Yeah.
Just Zoidberg on out of there.
Yeah. Zoidberg is my co-pilot.
Yeah.
Trust in Zoid. But no, yeah, so like I'm like just so mad at this point. We both and it was a unanimous decision to just say, "Buck it, we're done."
Yeah.
We're done. So so after that Dast experience, I, being the glutton for punishment I am, I hop back in. And
you're like a beaten dog.
well, yes, because I'm waiting. Like it's like me hitting the feeder bar and just expecting something good to happen out of this.
Maybe this time it'll work.
Yeah, maybe
Got
this
shocked
time.
again.
Maybe this time I'll have some fun.
Yep.
So I played through it and I'm like methodically working my way through. In that game, you cannot play like that. Where, like just sit and kill because you run out of ammo, and then you got to pick up these decidedly worse weapons, and just frustrate yourself.
Yeah.
So I get through the part that we got stuck at, and I am in a wide area where there's tanks and stuff, and I have nothing to fight a tank. And of course, there's two of them, and then the big green army blasty dudes. Like I am out supremely outgunned at this point.
Yeah.
And you get into the battle with the Covenant, then all of a sudden the flood's coming in behind you. I'm like, man, I'm just one dude. What is happening here?
I mean,
But you're
Doom was one
Master
thing,
Chief.
but like,
I understand fighting hell. Okay, all bets are off. No
Yeah.
problem. Martian demon dudes. Okay, I'm okay with that, being surrounded at all times and trapdoors. I am in a canyon where I just ran through and cleared everyone out. I turn around and there's a mountain of people.
yeah.
Just come like.
God, the flood is the worst.
Number one, there's no way that many humans landed on this ship with me to make this many enemies.
Science.
Yes. And even the Covenant looked like humanoid dudes, like whatever, doesn't matter. So I bash my way through this where I reload this one spot where I'm milking like, all right, I'm gonna use my rocket launcher, run back, get the sniper rifle, go back, shoot a couple dudes, run back, get another rocket launcher, take a couple more vehicles out. Where I'm just like doing this lap back and forth, just all right, everything's dead. I can go in this, and then as I'm rising up, this random blue bomb from one of these tanks that's on the other side of this canyon snipes me, and I'm like,
And we're done again.
I didn't quit.
Wow.
I didn't do it.
You are a
Ooh.
stronger man than I am.
Yeah,
So,
right?
so then I get into, I think that was section 8. I get into chapter 9, which ended up being even worse.
Ooh.
That's the
impressive.
one where you go back into a Covenant ship, and you like this. this I'm trying to figure out a way to describe this and not curse. Anyway, so you go in there, you do like the grab lev raise all the way back up into a Covenant ship again, and you're like, okay, cool, corridor shooter, I got this.
Yeah, this is part of my training.
Yeah, this has been in the wheelhouse for a while. So I get in there doing corridors, and then all of a sudden they're randomly monster trapping like spring-loaded cats all the time.
Great.
So then I get to the point where there's a giant hole, and then Cortana's like, hey, there's a hole there, and I'm like, really?
Thank you.
Where do I
AI
go now?
insight is invaluable.
Where do I go now? Examining the damage, I was like, I would punch you if I could right
if I
now.
could punch a hologram, I would.
So I'm figuring like, well, I must have missed the corridor. Let me double back. So I double back, and then like, literally this hatch, it's just vomiting the flood. I'm like, I don't have enough ammo, so I just chunk up grenades. She's like, you need to get moving, and I'm like,
you need to stop sassing me,
like,
Katana.
I was like, B, please, where do you want me to go? and then I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna jump. I'm gonna go for it. Apparently that's where I was supposed to go. I was supposed to jump in the hole.
Great.
I was like, awesome. And
Get
now,
in the hole.
So apparently the coolant that this ship is leaking just spawns more flood. I'm like,
God.
this just needs to be over at this point.
I mean, at least they picked the right name for those enemies.
Yes.
Just a torrent of BS.
It's the worst. The worst. So I fight my way through, and I'm getting up there, and then I get in another spot where I just, do I run through and pass these things, or where every time I turn a corner, I run into the flood with shotguns. Like, they have all are equipped with shotguns. I turn the corner, I'm like, oh,
Why?
great.
What?
Shoot, blast, dead. I'm like, I don't know how much more of this I can handle. So anyway, I beat my way through this, and I'm taking shortcuts through the Covenant ship. Like, I'm like, all right, I know I can fall from this. I'll take half shield damage. I'll run down this corridor, and then it's like plotting like my mirror's edge line through.
It's like most extreme elimination challenge.
Like, yeah, like my MXC, I'm waiting for the Ultramans to show up and hit me with giant foam boulders. So, or the weird white bearded guy to show up and laugh at me.
Yeah.
I missed that show.
I know. I was thinking about that the other day. I was watching episodes on YouTube, and I was like, man, this show.
What was that guy? No, I can't say his name because it's kind of a curse. It doesn't matter.
Oh, Guy?
No.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Guy Ledouche.
Guy Ledouche. Or, he had a different name, too.
Every once in a while, they gave him a different name, yeah.
Yeah. But I can't say it because I'm hearing it in my mind. It's making me laugh. So, anyway, no, that's not. I'm thinking of Iron Chef. Guy had a really bad name that sounded like the guy was swearing at him every time he said it.
Oh, I don't remember which.
Iron Chef.
It started with an F and ended with a Uzan. So
yeah, I don't remember his name, but every time I was like, pardon?
I would say it's PHAQSAN. Or UUSAN.
I'm just gonna look it up.
So anyway, so I'm plowing through this. I get through the area, I get down, and then I get on a ship, which I totally took another like mirror's edge, bounce off, reduce my fall damage, cut it bolt down, and then hop in the thing, and I'm out. So then I end up on I'm at area level 10. I don't know. I think. I mean, that's where I am right now. So I show up on our derelict ship that we crashed down on this planet or the ring, whatever. Where am I? I even think that's the title of the chapter is Where Am I? Yeah. So I'm on whatever the ring base thing kills all life as we know it for 25,000 light years. Anyway, that's what I pulled from.
The rich lore of Halo is like, I'm on the thing that kills light years?
What?
The
Whatever.
flood's there. I know that.
Whatever. All I know is these fungal, like, wispy hair dolly thingies hanging off of everyone at this point. So anyway, so I get in the ship, and of course, the ship that's abandoned with no one on it has enemies on it. Where are they coming from at this point?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't understand this. I don't know. I got to punch my captain in the head and rip something out and put it in my helmet meats.
Great.
So, I'm there. So I think this is the last chapter. I cannot wait for this to be over. I can't wait because at this point I have to see the talking tree now. Like,
I mean, you're deep enough in.
like
You got to get that payoff.
I mean, you know, my blood is just boiling with this disaster.
Mm-hmm.
And
Can't wait until you finish Halo 2 then. Whew. That's going to make you so happy.
I'm having, well, apparently I get the dual wield.
Oh, thank
Yay.
goodness. That's going to make the flood so much easier.
Tell me the flood's in this. Is it?
I think they're
Is
in
it
all
two?
of them.
No!
I remember
Really?
fighting them in 3.
Definitely remember fighting him in 2.
Yeah,
See,
you got
I
a
don't
lot of
remember.
flood, bro.
I have flushed this entire experience out of my brain because I did it in... What year did it come out on PC? Like 2001, 2000-ish?
Halo 1?
Yeah, like when it...
Something like that.
And I remember playing through it and not having this bad of a time with... I think because I did God mode and just powered my way through it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is the way this game should be played because the always dying and the horribly bad checkpointing
Oh, yeah.
is... Like I'm getting checkpoints I didn't even know I got. Like I would see like I'm pulling up and I'm like, oh geez, I'm gonna spawn. Wait, there was a checkpoint at this door. What? Okay.
I mean, you know, for as old as Halo 1 is, at least it has checkpoints.
Yeah.
Oh.
At least it's not like the beginning of the level and you're like, nope, no way.
If that would have happened, I would have microwaved this disc. Like,
Yeah.
just, I would have streamed it. Like, I would have YouTubed it. But, whatever. So, that's what I'm playing.
Great.
So,
Hannah, what about you?
I'll be done with it
Oh,
soon.
man. I don't know if I can match up to that. Played a bunch of Destiny after the longest week of work ever on Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it was so bad. But yeah, I hopped on, did some random stuff. Me and Boston did the Nightfall and the Weekly, which went over pretty well.
Yeah, it went over swimmingly this time.
Yeah, actually, I don't think, we didn't ever... I died a couple of times. Yeah. The one guy the one random we had in the Weekly was a little daring.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's my favorite type of pug when they hop in your party and it's like, okay, well, you know, don't forget we have burn, so these type of enemies 200% more damage.
Yeah.
And then you just see this dude just take off like he has rocket boots right towards the enemies with a shotgun out. It's like, no, I can't. Okay.
All right.
We'll get you when we get there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was good. I'm finally getting back into the swing of things with that game. It's been a while since I played it, to the point where... So, quick backstory. Before we started playing, one of my PS4 controllers has that issue where the rubber started peeling off of the plastic of the thumbstick.
Yeah. The great first run PS4 controller issue.
So I decided, all right, well, I used to take apart my 360 controllers all the time and like just completely disassemble them, wash them, because I would buy them used from wherever for cheap. And if you ever buy a used controller, wash the casing.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's super gross.
Yeah.
So I pop this thing open, get everything all set, and I go to try and put everything back together. And I realize that the way the triggers are set up inside of this controller, this tiny little spring that if you drop it on carpet, you're probably never going to find again.
It's gone forever.
And I dropped this thing like 5 times. Like, by the time I got this controller back together, I was ready to just throw it against a wall.
That's it, honey. Hardwood floors.
Yeah. Someone get me a magnet.
Yeah.
So I get the
That's
thing.
probably not even like real metal. It's not like you can't even magnetize it either.
Yeah.
Probably
just like an aluminum spring.
Yeah. So I get the thing back together,
Aluminium.
and Boston, you were witness to this. We're heading into the nightfall, and I lag at the point where you head up that ramp, and there's like 8 enemies just right there.
Mm-hmm.
I lag. They blow up my Sparrow, and I get off my Sparrow, and I can't shoot because one of the contacts came off. I actually ended up fixing it after we finished playing, but one of the little like rubber contacts in there came off of its like base, and it has this little like ledge on it that you have to like put over the plastic to keep it in place. Well, that had come off, so my right trigger, shoot, wasn't working.
That was a fun little discovery.
Yeah, I get off my Sparrow and I zoom in and I'm like, all right, I'll just take these guys out with a bunch of headshots. Just bet. Wait, no, it didn't shoot. Why didn't it shoot?
Oh, man.
So, luckily I had a spare controller, swapped it out. We get in there. I was real rusty. I did not do great. And we made it through. I think I got not an exotic, legendary weapon, another scout rifle.
Oh yeah.
Or it was either a scout. I think it was a pulse rifle. Actually, I wasn't terribly excited about it. So, but yeah, it was probably a pulse rifle. So it was a good time. I'm glad I'm getting back into this game, especially with all the changes they've announced recently.
Yes.
I played a bunch more of it this morning. I hopped on, and just the bounties and stuff they had today was like perfect. It was like, oh, I can literally do all of these in one place.
Nice.
Because it was like Fallen leaders, Vex leaders. You can do that on Venus, and then they were just generic. They were like Knuckle Duster. It's all in the head, which is critical damage, and there was one more, but I did like 6 bounties in like an hour. It was amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah, it felt real good. So I knocked that out. I was hoping we were doing hopefully getting a Vault of Glass run this afternoon or morning, but that unfortunately didn't happen. But we also, me and Boston, did the beginning of Crota's End.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, that. Yeah, we actually. So I was going to talk about it during mine, but I actually finished that for the first time. Hot Sauce Steve threw me an invite. It was M Chain, Hot Sauce Steve, NY Badger, Nick Ski, and Y Tizzle HL.
Nice.
They shot me an invite.
We know a guy named Hot Sauce Steve.
Dude, Hot Sauce Steve is awesome.
Yeah.
I think he's a listener, but he is like Destiny master extraordinaire. And they invited me along, and we cleared out Crota's End in I think 25 minutes from front to end.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I got Hunger of Crota, the rocket launcher. So
Yeah, that thing's hot
I was
too.
pretty happy.
Yeah, he launched it, and I was like, "What was that?"
Yes.
Like, it hits, and then you see like one explosion, and then you see a bunch of other smaller explosions, and everything's dead.
Like a little death's head.
I miss those moments in Borderlands where you get that random gun, you don't know what it does until you shoot it.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "What? What is that?"
Oh, I love that with the grenades. Like, those were my
Yeah.
favorites. All those crazy grenades I found.
Well, especially the grenades that spawn other grenades were always the best, because it was like, oh, I threw a grenade. What's all of that stuff? Oh, cool. All right, everything's on fire and heading my way. Cool.
I love the one that was spouting. It just had the like little diamonds that bounce and were shooting out lasers in every direction.
Oh yeah. Were those bouncing Bettys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Man, that game's fun.
But yeah, I'm really hoping to get a Vault of Glass run in before House of Wolves drops.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I've only finished that once before. Be nice to go through it again.
Community members, if you see me on, hopefully I'll have time for it. It's been crazy with work, so I may just be on doing bounties or playing something that doesn't require the time investment.
Yeah.
The time investment thing is why I haven't picked back up Bloodborne, because you can't just play that for an hour.
Yeah, can't just hop in and out of that.
No, not really. But a game that I have been hopping in and out of all week and loving to death has been Shovel Knight.
Yeah, let's talk about this. I'm at
Let's
the
talk
end of
about-
Shovel Knight.
I got like the halfway mark feat, so I'm pretty far through. I just finished Polar Knight
Okay.
before we started here.
That was a fun one.
That was a fun one. I had a little bit of trouble with him at first because I was like, I didn't realize those gaps in the bottom of that boss battle were gonna fill up. So as you fight this guy, he's literally like a giant Viking shovel knight with a snow shovel,
Yeah.
and he digs up parts of the level and reveals spikes. And of course, since this is the NES game that time forgot, spikes kill you instantly.
We're just going to keep chatting here. Knobs just disappeared for some reason.
Oh, okay. I thought it was me again. I was like, what?
No. He looked at the camera a little bit strangely and then dropped off.
Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of Shovel Knight. I'm disappointed I didn't play this sooner. I should have picked it up for PC.
Shovel Knight is really great.
I'm kicking myself.
I'm glad that you're finally able to play it, and I'm glad that I've gotten to play past the halfway point, because right before that second or the third set of bosses is where I finished last time.
Oh, nice.
And man, the end of the last half of that game is pretty brutal. I'm at the very last like that castle thing you're trying to get to during the whole game.
Oh yeah, the Tower of Souls.
Yeah, and it is rough. A little rough. I keep playing it in the morning. Your reflexes aren't up to it at that point.
No, not at all. Well, I made the mistake. So I switched from PS4. I started on PS4, and then I tried playing it on Vita. That's a bit of a jump.
Oh, really?
It's a little weird because your timing gets all crazy. Just because of the size. It's weird. It's like the size of the buttons and the distance between the buttons is different. So I was swinging the shovel a little quicker than I probably should have been in a lot of places.
Yeah.
I think that was when I was fighting Spectre Knight.
Yeah.
That boss battle was fun. All the boss battles are tons of fun.
And I like that they are hard enough without being unfairly so. Like, none of the boss battles are mean. It's just sort of like, oh, okay, well, I tried to cheese this boss by doing the downward strike too many times, and they're just going to block me from doing that. Yeah,
they will not. Even I tried to do that on Polar Knight. I was like, I bet he's not quick enough. Oh, he does a lot more damage if you try to do it that way, because you bounce on him once or twice, and then he just holds his up high, and you basically land on him, and he throws you across the screen.
One boss battle that was really tough is... for the PlayStation version, you can fight Kratos.
Oh yeah,
that was rough.
Oh,
he does a ton of damage.
Well, he is Kratos. He's real angry.
Yeah, he's that boss battle's a little hard to find too.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't. There's one character. Have you done the Hall of Champions?
I actually just finished that before we started.
Okay, it's in there. It's
really?
Secret room in a secret room. I had to look it up because I was just like, God, I thought I really scoured that place, but
yeah, because I like figured that whole place out. I was like, oh, I see what I have to do here,
right?
And like didn't look up a guide, didn't look up anything, and I got that boss fight.
That was a cool place.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
I won't spoil that because that's something you should discover for yourself.
There's a lot of good Kickstarter jokes too.
Yeah, I like that. Like it's tipping its hat to like where they came from, which is literally Kickstarter. But no, I'm gonna have to go back in there now and find that.
Yeah,
because I bet that's how you unlock Kratos for play, right?
You don't play as him, but I won't spoil what you get. It's not major, and I don't.
Okay.
I haven't used it yet, but I don't think it's really gonna change the game too much.
All right. I do like the guy with the relics, Chester.
Yes.
I love that his name is Chester, and he always pops out of a chest.
Yes.
That makes me really happy.
My favorite character is probably the Trouble King.
The Trouble King's pretty great.
The guy that gives you Ichor. Yeah. He's great.
The dude who's like all about the Trouble King's pretty cool though.
Yeah, he loves the Trouble King a lot.
He loves him. He's a big fan.
Yeah. Also, the Kratos fight has an 8-bit version of Kratos' theme, which is really great.
Speaking of themes, the music in that game.
My God.
Oh.
Probably my favorite piece of music is the song where you're dreaming and you're catching Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's so good.
Or Shield Knight.
Shield Knight. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking
Man.
about the new version where you can
switch them.
They're talking about changing, like you can pick to be female or male between those two characters.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Everything about this game speaks to me on an excellent, like, just this primal level of, like, this is where all of my gaming experience came from.
Yep.
I've identified all the elements. This game is a mashup of Mega Man, Castlevania, Super Mario Brothers 3, and DuckTales.
You nailed all four of them. Yep.
Yeah. If you combined those games and made a game by our powers combined, oh man, you need to play this game.
Well, and I think it's great too, because I think it's really the game I needed right now, because there's a very short intro that like it seems like it would fit on the NES. It's fairly short. And there's no tutorial, there's no nothing. It's straightforward, and you just get right into it, and you just start shoveling.
Yep, you just swinging your shovel and killing dudes. It's awesome.
So good.
I'm honestly, like, I'm glad I waited to play it on PS4 and Vita, because, like, especially Vita, because I can just pick it up and play it whenever.
Yep, and it has cross-save support.
Yes, cross-save support's a little rough. I wish it was automatic, but whatever. Good enough.
Cross-save seems weird in general on PlayStation anyway.
Yes. Yes, it does. There's a lot of issues with it. But in this case, it works really well. You can manually upload and download your information. And just, it's real easy to be like, oh, okay, my last, save was from this time. And my, the save in the cloud's older than the save I have on my Vita. So I'll upload my Vita save. And the next time I go to the PS4, download it from there. And it's perfect. It works. I can't stop playing this game. I'm probably gonna beat this like 2 or 3 more times, and it already has a spot in my top 10 list this year, like, unquestionably.
Well, and a lot of the trophies are really interesting too, because it's it's things that probably aren't going to be hard, but stuff like go through the whole game without spending any money, or go through the whole game without dropping in any bottomless pits. Stuff like that, like sort of fun stuff that I like when trophies and achievements do, instead of like, I don't know, man, kill 2 million enemies with your shovel, huh? And it's like, well, that's just a grind. That's not fun.
That's silly.
Yeah.
Oh, but everything, the art, the music, the gameplay, everything about this game is just pure excellence.
Yep.
And I highly suggest everyone goes out and gets it. Or there's rumors floating that it may be a PS Plus game for May. So
that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense to me, but I've seen it in more than one place.
Yeah. I have seen the original, quote unquote screenshot of that link, and lo and behold, it is a at an angle phone screenshot of a computer screen. So let me tell you, that's not how things get announced.
No.
I think the other great thing too about Shovel Knight is I think it's only $15. If you have PlayStation Plus, you get like $1.50 off or something like that.
Yeah.
But also all the DLC they're talking about coming out with is going to be free. So like they're going to have this whole campaign where you play as Plague Knight.
Yeah.
And that's just going to come out and be free. So.
And that sounds awesome, because I fought him
cool.
and that was rough.
Yeah.
He's nobody's friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would. Coach Jamal asks in chat if there is a demo of Shovel Knight. I actually don't know. I bought it sight unseen because I knew I was going to love it.
It might be on PC. Let me look.
Yeah, I would. If there's a demo on PC, I would grab it. I don't think there's one on PlayStation Network.
Yeah, I would wholeheartedly recommend it if you like platformers at all.
Yeah.
I don't see a demo on Steam. I'll keep looking.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all I played this week.
Oh, well, I will stop looking then. I played a bunch of Ziggurat since that came out for PS4.
Ziggurat.
Did not realize that is made by friends of the show, Milkstone Studios.
Ooh.
That game's really great. It is... I think I mentioned it. I think I talked a bit about it last week. It is a first-person. Basically, if someone took Hexen and Heretic and they made it into a roguelite with a bunch of different classes and put randomized levels in it, that game's really great. It's it's pretty tough in the way that roguelikes can be,
Yeah.
but it's never really unfair about it. It's just sort of like, well, I got the bosses are random that you get, so it's sort of like, well, I got kind of a crummy weapon on the first level, and I got a really tough boss, so okay, I took a lot of damage and died on the second level. But that's kind of balanced by, I did really great on the first 2 levels, so I'm sort of motoring my way through the game. You have good runs, you have bad runs, like that does. And there's every time you level up, you get to pick between 2 different bonuses. They're sort of presented as cards, and you unlock more and stronger cards the more you play. So I don't know. It just seems kind of. The other GZ says Curse of the Necrodancer is out too. Speaking of roguelites, I haven't played that. I would like for that to come to consoles too.
I played a little bit of that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that seems like a game right up my alley. But Ziggurat is too. It's a really well made game. I think it's $10 or $15. I don't remember. Kind of came out as a bad time with so many other quality downloadable games that are coming out, but I don't know, it's just kind of fun. You can pick up and play that fairly easily. I'm really impressed with the amount of options that there are in the game. They actually have a field of view slider, which is really weird for a console game. I had to turn that all the way down because I was getting some tunnel vision in that game. But I kind of like that there were a bunch of those options in the game. I wish there was more for me to talk about with Ziggurat, but it's pretty straightforward. It's, you all know what roguelikes are. If you don't know what Hexen is, it's a magic-based first-person shooter that Raven made in the 90s that was really good. You kind of put the two together and you have Ziggurat. It's out for PC, Xbox One, and PS4 now. And it runs great on PS4. I don't know how it runs on Xbox One, but I know it runs well on PC too. So check it out. Giant Bomb had a really good quick look about it. That kind of shows the benefits of it. I was gonna stream it this week, but I didn't really have time to do it this week. I started Assassin's Creed Chronicles China.
Ooh, nice.
That game is way better than I was expecting.
Really?
Basically, they made Mark of the Ninja,
Nice.
which is pretty okay. Has a really good tutorial, has a really good opening level. I feel like they did a better job of capturing what they want Assassin's Creed to be in this game, where you're very, very strongly encouraged to use stealth at all times. When you start the game, basically you can take 1 hit from enemies.
Wow.
And then at the end, it's like, oh, well, we gave you more health. And then now, basically, I can take like 1.1 hits from enemies. So, there's no real... You're hiding, you're sneaking, you're distracting guards, stuff like that. It seems really interesting. It seems like it takes place somewhere in the Assassin's Creed 2 timeline, because Ezio is in it.
Oh, nice.
But they got a different voice actor for Ezio.
Oh,
and that's
nice.
really weird, because I didn't realize it was Ezio until after...
Until he announced himself?
No.
Hey, it's me, it's Ezio!
No, he doesn't sound like that anymore. He sounds very, very, very different. Until after you're done, it opens one of those codex entries, and it's like, Ezio Auditore, and I was like, cool, where was he? And it's just like, no, that's the guy who just gave you the tutorial about how to sword fight. And I was like, oh. That's,
no, he didn't.
Cool, that's really different. There is actual sword fighting in the game. Hey, cat, what are you doing? Stop it. And it's kind of interesting because it is really one-on-one based, and they really encourage you to block attacks and then roll over your enemy and then kind of attack them from behind. Because the enemies, if you attack them straight on, they're they're just gonna block everything you throw at them.
Yeah.
It seems, I don't know, it seems kind of neat. It seems something like a different approach for Assassin's Creed to take, but really still focusing very heavily on stealth, which I feel like the mainline Assassin's Creed games have quickly been getting away from ever since AC1. I don't know, it seems kind of neat. So I've only played maybe half an hour of it. Coach Jamal in chat says Prince of Persia style. That's pretty close to what they're going for, yeah.
We have Lost in a Crowd. I Can't Fall Down. Because I love you too much, baby.
What?
Doesn't matter.
Moving on. My wife and I played some more Borderlands 2. We made it to Sanctuary and we did the Firehawk stuff.
Ah, nice.
Still enjoying that game. It's still Borderlands 2 and it's still pretty great. It's one of those great games where we just want to play something together, but we don't necessarily... It's like watching a show that you've watched before. It's like USA has Modern Family on Friday nights. All right, we will put that on in the background while we're doing some other stuff. It's kind of it really is your comfort food of gaming right now, and it's just fun to play Borderlands 2 together.
I really wish I was.
Oh, God.
I really wish I was playing that instead of Halo.
You could.
You mentioned comfort food gaming. Like, that's Destiny for me right now. Like, that's
me too. Yeah.
It's a warm blanket.
Yep. Yeah. Work has been really stressful, and I've been pulling a lot of hours lately. So it's kind of nice to pop something in that I don't necessarily need to figure out. I can just say, like, okay, cool, I need to do this. I can still have some fun. I can still do some PvP.
Click your brain off for a while.
Yeah. Okay, Kat. I guess I will open the blinds for you. You're being a jerk. There you go. That's much better, huh? Oh, thanks so much. You're welcome. Last game I played is Titan Souls.
Ooh.
I'm trying really hard not to look up how to beat this one boss. I beat the forest area, which was pretty good. And I know how to beat one more boss in the sort of lava fire area.
Okay.
I can't manage to do it yet. And I genuinely do not know how to beat the other boss in the fire area.
Ooh.
I don't know. And I think I just need to beat those two bosses, and I can open this giant door in the middle of this area. But I can't. Oh, and I ran into some other boss that I know how to beat, and I don't think I'm good enough to do that. So
can't quite hack it.
It's just it seems, which means that I'm probably doing it incorrectly, that it requires a level of speed that I'm not sure I can do in that game. So I'm sure that I am misunderstanding what the boss battle is asking of me.
That's possible.
I feel like I'm kind of fading out on that game a little bit. Because it requires a level of putting up with frustration that I don't think I have right now.
Yeah.
The same reason I don't have Bloodborne right now. I can't hack that game right now. There's no way that I can get over my impatience and get over my frustration right now to play Bloodborne. And Titan Souls is basically a Souls game. So just without the small enemies in between.
Nothing's more frustrating when you just want to move through a game and it just won't let you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But that's all I've been playing, so let's take a break.
Sweet.
Cat, what is wrong with you? I'm not going to open the window.
Let me go satiate Cooper. He's scratching at the door. Get some more water.
Do you want to say hi to the internet? Is that what you're doing? Oh, no, you're just itchy. Okay. Yeah. Are you a good kitten now? Yeah. Are you my giant 19-pound 9-year-old kitten? Yeah, you are. What?
What's going on?
I'm just petting my cat over here. I don't know if you guys probably can't see him. There he is. Say hi to the internet.
Meow.
Watch him scratch his face on this window. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to play some Shadow Warrior this week, but then I just kind of didn't.
Yeah, I didn't really have a lot of time to do that. D-Voice in chat says, "Damn, that is a big cat." Dude, you have no idea. Look at how big this cat is.
How do you see that? Because you're fixed.
Wrong camera. Oh, I can't even see what you're.
Oh, you got two cameras now.
Yeah, I got the one on the stream with the cat. Hi. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're very scary.
So it all makes sense now.
It's all coming together.
So you got two cameras facing at you now?
I do.
It's like the Connect all over again.
Let's not show the stream my phone number. How's that sound, kitten? Arr. Yeah. I shouldn't encourage you biting me, probably, right? Yeah.
I don't know, playing any more MK10's a definite maybe.
Yeah, I might still pick that up once it drops down a little bit.
Yeah, Tom Gamer asked me, it's like, well, because we were thinking about what to play, and then we settled on Halo. I don't know why.
Because you're a glutton for punishment.
I asked him what, if he picked up MK10. He's like, no, I'm waiting for it. I don't think it's worth the money. I was like, you're right.
Yeah, I might get into it for 40 if I'm looking for a.
I wouldn't.
For 40, you don't think you would?
No.
Really?
No.
What would you say, 30?
Yeah, I would say 30 or less.
Or keep an eye out for a digital sale.
Or 40 if it comes with all the DLC, like the complete edition.
God, that case stuff is really driving me nuts.
Oh man, it was cute for a little bit in MK9, and then it started wearing on me again, and then now this one, it's just like, I hate you.
I think when you have like crypt and coins, I think that's fine. Everything beyond that, it's too much.
I agree.
Boy, you really want pets today, huh? Just gonna rub your face on my PS3. That's cool. That's cool. I can respect that.
Well, the news stories seem kind of interesting.
Yeah, we have a pretty good smattering of them.
What was I reading? I watched the internet explode. I think it was the thread for that Overlord.
Yeah, I have that as part of our news stories.
Oh man, I don't get it.
People are so pissed. We'll save that for that. But man, I meant to look up someone. Shovel Knight Battletoads. I wonder if anybody has uploaded a video of them fighting Battletoads in the Xbox One version of Shovel Knight.
What's up, guys? It's Battletoads. Playing some more Shovel Knight here. In your face, son! Comments below. Do you guys want me to go back and do a playthrough of this one?
Where is somebody with that? I don't see anybody playing that. Wow, Shovel Knight speedrun at 47 minutes from the last AGDQ. That's crazy.
We're just gonna go with Drake's interpretation there. Technically, yeah.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Oh, I meant to show you guys. I bought the Hohokam soundtrack on vinyl.
Oh, nice.
Wanted to
That's
show.
a cool looking vinyl.
Well, here's the one side of the jacket,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other.
Okay.
But what I want to show you is actually the record itself. It is really in that sleeve. Try not to touch it. Look at
Oh
that.
my god.
Crap, that's cool.
$10.
Really?
Yeah, ghostly.com. That's a pretty good deal.
That is a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I heard on NPR that flexi discs are making a comeback.
Really?
Yeah.
The heck?
Wait, what discs?
Flexi discs. You probably don't remember those.
Probably not.
They used to come in magazines, but it's a record that's flexible.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh.
like a throwaway thing, and then become a really big collector's item. And someplace in Jersey bought, or like they bought the factory where they thought the machines would be, and it turned out they had scrapped everything. So then they had to go back into the trademarks and recreate the actual machinery to make flexi discs,
Now you're
Wow.
biting me for real. You need to calm down.
which was pretty. I thought it was a pretty cool story.
That's pretty awesome. I'll have to dig that up. That just sounds cool. Like I never even knew they did that. Was it just like little 45s?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, they're pretty cool. I mean, they're like they feel like you're putting a fruit roll up on your turntable.
Yeah. Man,
They
those are
have that
crazy.
kind of weird consistency, like it's solid but not. They're probably delicious too. I don't know.
Cat, I can't open the window. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh man,
Even though you.
I just want my back not to hurt. Like
That's asking a lot.
any way I sit is just so uncomfortable anymore.
Should probably get that checked out.
I don't know. Maybe get a massage.
There you go.
Maybe just knead in some essential oils.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just spice up a little oregano.
Get your sizzle on, you know.
It's alright. Just butter me up and baste me, baby.
Ah, good times.
I should probably open show notes. At this point.
Probably this is your gig, man.
I feel all fancy with this barely working tablet.
It's Omasket, I don't care. I thought I had Gmail open in the tab here.
Yeah, I'm convinced that this tablet's storage is just gonna bite it one day.
Yeah, probably when you need it.
Yeah, when I'm like, oh no, everything else is dead. I need this tablet to work. Ugh.
Whoops.
I'm like, I was like really torn. I was like, oh, that Windows tablet's only $79.
Yeah, just pick me up another one of those.
Yeah, that cat's totally licking itself behind you.
Get at it, baby!
Oh hey, Brown Cat, how you doing?
Don't
a
be
good
afraid
show.
of it, cowboy.
I got both of them in here, man. I got one of them making out with the window over here, scratching his face,
It's
other
a
one
window
just-
licker.
having a party. Oh, now you're getting those paws, huh? Tybalt, hey. Tybalt,
It's such a cat
Brown
move.
Cat, hi. Can you stop that? Yeah, you are cute. Okay, now you're just going to sleep. Good life being a cat, huh?
Yep. Yeah, Cooper was asleep until my wife got home. And then he was like, oh yeah, he went in the office. I gotta get in there and start
Hey,
scratching at the
Samson,
door
what's
like a
going on?
madman.
He's in there behind a closed door. I must be in there.
Yes. Something is wrong. I must get in there.
Yeah, there's a place I'm not allowed.
Yeah. We left him actually alone and like out of his crate for like 2 hours yesterday, and it went well, except for the giant dump he took in the living room.
Right?
Oh, it took a giant dump? Yeah, so I got distracted last night, and this guy right here ate a whole pizza.
Oh,
It-
it was delicious, I bet.
Oh, I was so mad.
It wasn't a Krause's pizza, was it?
Yes, it was.
Son of a bitch!
Man.
It was just like I left it out because I was letting it cool down because that sauce
It's like
is
lava.
It is. It is. Every time I've had a Cross's pizza, I burned the crap out of my mouth.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let it sit. Then when my buddies came over, we were sitting there talking. I was like, hey, do you want a slice of
Dog.
You didn't even hear him get up on the stove, and it was just
On the stove. I mean, if he's going to be that quiet, he's more than welcome to it.
Yeah.
But you go outside for when you have the horrible side effects from it.
Oh, yeah.
oh man, he's been gassy like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, I bet.
I was so mad. I was so mad. Someone has gotten treats all day.
Scuttle, hi.
Son of a bitch.
Alright, are you guys ready to bang this thing out?
Yep.
Yes, sir. All right, you guys ready?
Yup.
Fuck.
Brain fog.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
Brain fog, man.
Brain cloud. Right through. Got a layer of detritus right between your lobes.
Scuttle.
Right between the brain meats.
Yeah, right between your brain meats.
Hi.
What do you want, Boomer? Stop staring at me, Swan. Holy crap, did I get berated over not realizing that was the same chick?
Oh,
I honestly had no idea.
I had like 5 or 6 people send me messages over it.
Yeah, the other Jay-Z said it in chat, but I missed it.
Like I had, oh, what are you doing? Oh, stop.
I'm pooping. Hello.
Jeez, what are you doing?
Alright, Cat, you're getting a little too bitey now.
Eh.
Go do your thing.
Oh,
Come here. You want to come up?
this is
You want to say hi to the internet? The internet loves cats. And you're
They
a
do.
big cat. They'll love you extra.
Don't paw. I will bite your paw.
He's done it. I've seen him do it.
Cooper stepped on my eye yesterday.
Even
Oh, I thought I was going to lose it.
The eye?
No, I did lose it because he stepped on my eye.
Yeah. It's hard to be cool and collected when someone steps on your eyeball.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Alright.
All right, ready?
Hey.
How about
All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases for the week of April 27th, 2015. Broken Age for the PS4 and PS Vita.
I think that's both episodes, right?
picking that up? Yep.
Nice.
All right, and Tropico 5 El Presidente for the PS4.
I played Tropico 3 on the 360, and that worked surprisingly really well.
Yeah.
So Tropico is a pretty great series. I think the thing I enjoyed the most out of Tropico 3 was the challenges, where it's sort of like, okay, one of my favorite ones was, okay, you have an already set up island that is already doing a pretty good job of producing pineapples, but you need to do it faster because Godzilla's coming, and you need to make 2 million pineapples before he comes to the island, so he'll spare it. You have 2 years.
2 million pineapples.
And I was just like, great, let's do this.
Let's get our pineapple on.
Tropico. All right, let's move on to news stories. Rory McIlroy's PGA Tour release date announced, and they also announced some additional shot types, which is actually kind of exciting, I think, for maybe people that haven't been playing Tiger Woods for a while. So it's coming out on July 14th, so they pushed it back by a month. Mm-hmm. So they have 3 shot styles now. They have arcade style, which is your standard swing back, swing forward, spin and power applied to the ball. Kind of your standard Tiger 2010 on shot style. They have classic, so this is your old school 3-click style. Ooh. So, hit A to start, hit A when it's at power, and then hit A to finish swinging. I don't believe there's any spin and power on that one. And then Tour style is arcade style, so it's back and forth, but without spin and power, and you cannot zoom to the hole.
Yep.
So you basically need to say, all right, I'm I'm here on top of this ridge. How far do I need to shoot it to actually get to the hole? They showed in the trailer some sort of new like hole map, where it's basically they'll give you the topology of the map and where you are. Kind of looks like a GPS sort of thing that you'd use on the course.
Nice.
That they're suggesting you use in that mode. So that's kind of cool. It's nice to see they're coming back with the 3-click style. Because I know
I think that 3-click has always been there.
No, it's been gone for about 6 years.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know because I just used the back and forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for a lot of people that played Hot Shots and a lot of games like that,
Yeah.
I think that
Power
has...
Star. Yeah.
Yeah, Power Star has it too, yeah. I think that stopped a lot of people from picking it up because if you play with 3-click and you try to do the analog swing, it's really different.
Yeah, it is really foreign.
And I think it might have stopped a lot of people from picking it up. So it's kind of nice to see that they're bringing back some of that stuff. And it's not just, hey, it's Tiger Woods again with a different dude. Yay, PS4. You know, sort of what we would expect out of that franchise.
A soulless cash grab? Never.
Yeah.
No, EA would never do that.
Pin packs.
I don't even want to know how much money I spent on pin packs. And
No, we're not disclosing those numbers.
That's not soulless. That's soul sucking. That's on you guys.
Hey.
You don't understand how great it was to open those packs up, though. It was like
You've played
getting a fresh
Hearthstone.
pack of Magic cards.
It's the same
true.
thing as playing Hearthstone, where you open a pack and you're like, oh, yes.
Okay, yeah, you really can't be blamed for that.
Sweet,
You just need another hit.
Yeah.
One more pin to unlock this course. Like,
Yeah.
free play.
And the other Jay-Z in chat says, I think I'm finally ready to pick up a golf game again. I kind of think I am, too. Like, the golf club never really scratched the same itch. There's something a little bit off about it. So Power Star Golf is good for, and Hot Shots Golf are good for, like, kind of the arcadey, less realistic ones, but
Yeah.
I'm ready for another EA golf game. Man.
Well, and then like the pendulum swang so far the other way with that golf club game.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm excited. I totally think tour is going to be the way our league will play.
Yep.
I hope they have that whole setup where we can set up those tournaments again.
Oh, that'd be great.
Nice.
I'd be bummed if they remove that stuff. I haven't heard anything about it, so maybe it won't make it in, but it'd be nice. Next news story: Marvel teams up. Get it? With Telltale Games. Yeah. That's about all the news we have about that. Marvel announced that they're partnering with Telltale Games, and a game will be here in 2017.
Okay.
So, great. That gives...
I hope Telltale has hired a few more people than they had last time, because between this and the Lionsgate partnership...
Oh, right. I forgot about
that. How?
The thing that I think is, I hope that they are putting some energy into redoing their engine.
Yes.
It is buggy, it is inconsistent, and it needs a little bit more love than I think it's been getting now.
Yeah.
That would be the thing that I would recommend the most, especially if you're going to get so many more eyes on it. I think I get the impression the Game of Thrones game has been doing really well. I've
still got to pick up the rest of the episodes for that. They're coming.
But I think when you're talking about a Marvel game, there are going to be a lot more eyes on your company.
Absolutely.
I think you need to fix that up a little bit.
Yes.
Next news story. Rumor is that there is a Gears of War collection coming out for the Xbox One. I have not been reporting about this a lot because there has been this rumor going on since Black Tusk started working on a Gears of War thing, until a lot of people started posting screenshots of it.
Yeah.
So there's a multiplayer alpha out right now that contains Gears of War 1. So
classic.
That's a thing that's happening.
And the classic modes.
Almost for sure.
Yeah.
So, hey, do you guys want to play Gears of War again? Those games are pretty good.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I need some time.
Yeah, I don't know. know. I was thinking about that where my initial reaction was like, cool, Gears of War collection. And I was like, okay, would I play that? I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it would probably be fun if they had the 4-player co-op through the entire story arc. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I would almost be excited to go play Gears 1 again, because I haven't played it since it came out. That was 2007? 2008?
It's been a while.
It's been about as long as this show has been around. I'll just put it that way. I don't know. I think that would be interesting. I'd be curious to see. I would like them to take the approach that that Microsoft took with and 343 took with Master Chief Collection, where you can kind of play through the whole thing, or it's like, here are all the levels with Coltrane in it, as kind of a playlist. I think that would be kind of cool. I think it would be nice in a real dream world if they would put the challenges they had in Judgment into 1, 2, and 3. I think that would be super cool. But maybe that's asking a little bit much.
Well, that's asking People Can Fly to get involved.
Man, I can only dream.
You know what? After what happened with the Master Chief Collection, I'm sort of like, you know what? Leave the stuff that works alone.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's entirely valid. Yeah. I don't know. I would be really curious to see what this is. I am sure that if it is a real thing and not just some sort of leak to the internet to see if people are excited about it, I'm assuming greatly that we're going to see it at E3.
Oh yeah.
I would like to see. Oh, they have it here. Gears of War 1 was in 2006, so 9 years later. I'd probably be okay to come back to Gears of War 1. Especially to fight that Berserker that first time. When you're in that cathedral whatever and shit, and you can't fight her until you get outside. Oh, man. Gears 1 was great.
It was.
Razor Hail!
Razor Hail! That was okay, too. Man.
What was that?
Remember there was that one, it was raining, and it basically raining razors.
Yeah, it's like glass.
Forgot about that.
And you had to duck through this building and then carry that box out together.
Oh yeah.
Gears of War 1 had some pretty good set pieces and a totally BS final boss.
Yeah, that sucked.
Please fix that, by the way.
Yeah.
There's 2 sections of that game that was BS. That one where you had to run towards the truck, that was way harder than it needed to be. There's a boomer in the distance or something.
Yes.
And then the final boss.
Yeah.
That ROM sucked.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'd like to go back to those games, and I'd like to, have the crew of us go through and play through some stuff on Insane.
Absolutely.
Again. It'd be great.
I don't know. I don't want to play Insane on Gears of War 3 ever again. I finished it. I'm never doing it again.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, maybe I had just blocked it out.
Did you finish 3 on Insane? I
believe so. I think
the
Brad,
light ray?
I think Brad and I did. Blad. I think Brad and I did.
That was the worst because we had to cheese it with all the mods. That was the only way we were able to survive.
Oh, yeah. Cat is just staring at me. I don't know what he wants.
Your soul, probably.
Yeah, no idea. All right, next news story. A new Overlord spin-off game was announced.
Ooh.
I would like to remind everybody of the spin-off word. It is not a new Overlord game. So they announced Overlord Fellowship of Evil, which is a 4-player co-op action RPG, basically Diablo.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much Gauntlet with Overlord characters.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
I think it sounds fun. I probably would have preferred an Overlord 3, but I don't write the checks, so I don't get to be upset about it, internet. I don't know, it sounds kind of fun. I can't tell if it's a downloadable game or not. Okay, it is. It's going to be $20 when it comes out. That's not bad. Rihanna Pratchett, who wrote the first 2 and also wrote Tomb Raider 2013, TVGP's Game of the Month. She's back writing the new game, so the writing of those has always been good.
Nice.
And hopefully this funds Overlord 3.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I don't know. Like it's just like I jumped down in those comments, and it was just the vitriol was just incessant on that entire thread.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
sort
people
of
just
incessant
bag-
on the internet.
Well, that was, I mean, that was extreme.
So here's the thing, like I always say, if there's something you don't like, you get to be bummed, you don't get to be upset.
Yep.
I'm bummed that we don't have Overlord 3, but
Yeah.
I didn't give them $15 million to make Overlord 3, so I'll give them $20 to play this hack and slash Diablo style game. And it'll
Totally.
probably be pretty fun.
If you've got the little demon gremlins in there, I'm sold.
No, I don't. No, there aren't. They're not in this one.
Well, then I'm out. Sorry.
Yeah, which is fair. I mean, you know,
See? Appropriate reactions.
yeah, you get to be bummed and say, well, maybe I won't purchase this game because it doesn't have the game elements that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like the hack and slash in both the games anyway.
Yeah.
So
I
don't know.
I want a little squad of those guys for my desk at work now, just sitting on there, just figurines.
That'd be great. I wonder if anybody
Yeah.
sold those.
I know.
Well, they
Seems
pretty
like
much aped the minions from the Darkness comics anyway. So
Yeah.
Well, and they also aped Pikmin.
Yeah.
You know, to be fair. And I'm sure there's probably some PC game that came out in 1975 that was the original of this.
Yeah,
The
right.
internet will remind me.
Like Underlord or something.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know, but I really enjoyed the Overlord games. They had an odd charm about them.
Mm-hmm.
And any chance you get to play the villain, I'm all in.
I really liked 1 and 2 never really clicked with me, even though it was still really good. I think it just landed at the wrong time for me.
Yeah.
Oh, beating my microphone up here. Well, let's move on to our last news story here that I kind of don't want to talk about, but it's the biggest story in gaming this week, and it has made the internet explode because they're upset about everything.
Yeah.
Man. So Valve has announced Steam Workshop will let users sell mods.
Which, on paper, that sounds awesome. That's like, hey, you can put up a mod and charge for it and stuff.
So
That's really cool.
I am on the opposite side of the fence from literally everybody on the internet, and I don't think anything sounds wrong about this at all.
No, of its basic principle, it's okay.
I
if
think
you want to sell some code, there's a lot of work that goes into that stuff. You deserve to be paid.
Yep.
If you want to charge for it.
Right, and it's totally optional. I think so. Here's the two things that I have heard that to me are legitimate criticisms of what's going on here. So, basically, as a mod creator, you can sell anything. You can sell a sword. There's a $2 fishing minigame for Skyrim right now.
Ugh.
If you don't like it, don't buy it. The free market will win out.
Yes.
I think the things that seem tough for this right now are, one, there seems to be an exclusivity deal with Valve where if you sell your mod on the Steam Workshop, you cannot sell your mod somewhere else. It from the Gabe Newell AMA he did the other day on Reddit, it sounds like that's maybe not necessarily the intention. It may have just been
He's gonna get in one of these days.
just the door falls over and knocks you out of your chair.
I'd buy that for $1.
Me
yeah.
too.
It sounds like that's not necessarily the intention, and maybe there was some legal business that happened that some wires got crossed.
That's possible, yeah.
The other thing too is, so the only mods you can sell right now are for Skyrim. So
Yes.
there are Steam Workshop stuff for everything else, and that's what Valve and Bethesda have come together. You don't blame Valve. Is that the cut that Valve and Bethesda get combined for the sale of those mods is 75%.
Which is insane, and which is where my whole liking this idea goes completely off the rails.
Yeah, because
that is absurd.
the mod.
If that was switched 70-30 in the person that created its favor,
Sure.
no one would have a problem with it.
Not
And
at all.
I think there's been a lot of misunderstanding that mods overall don't get you 25%.
No.
And I know that there are a lot of mod creators that spend hundreds of hours. People are really hoisting up a free mod for Skyrim that adds like 20 hours to the game and adds all this stuff, and it's supposedly really great, and it's free. And I think that is what the marketplace was before, and I think, for me, I think there is really a place for a paid mod marketplace.
Absolutely. I totally agree. The amount of work that goes into coding and the art and the modeling,
It's incredible.
It's incredible that people have been giving them away for this long. I totally understand why you would want to do that. I mean, that's look at how look at Valve. How many of their games they have really only made a couple of games that were not based off of mods previously.
Right.
If you look at their Half-Life, that was a game.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike, Half-Life mod. Dota, originally based on a Warcraft 3 mod. Team Fortress, it was a Quake mod that they convinced them to bring it over to a Half-Life mod, and then they built it out as Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
I mean, Valve's business is built on the backs of modders that they hired, that they brought in. And that's the best way to get a good job in the industry without a whole lot of experience or schooling, is make a really great mod for a game.
Well, and I think, too, the other thing, I absolutely agree. And I think the other two things to keep in mind is, for the modding community, if 25% is not good enough, talk to Bethesda and let them know, all right, look, I've made these mods and I would love to get paid for them, but the amount of money that I feel like I would make based off of this isn't worth me charging for it, because I feel like I would get less downloads, less exposure, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But the business argument to that is, well, would you rather get nothing or 25%?
And I feel I agree, and I think from Bethesda's standpoint, I agree, and also Bethesda's probably saying I haven't seen a statement from them, is, well, you're using our game that we spent tens of millions of dollars and years creating, so you don't get the lion's share of the profits off of it because you didn't make the game. You're making a mod that's piggybacking on the thing we made. Which, what's
the value of their time? I mean,
sure. I mean, from a business standpoint, Bethesda doesn't care. You're using their game, and fine. They'll probably say, grab Unity. But my other thing too is, what I think Valve does really well is they've done it with Greenlight. They've done it with Steam Workshop in the past. They've done it with Steam. Is the first time that anything they do lands really badly. Look at when Steam came out, and we're like, well, great, Valve's just going to destroy video games on the PC because now I have to use Steam.
Yes, and let's harken back to that, because I remember that. I remember buying a physical copy of Half-Life 2 and being real mad that I had to install Steam.
Yep, because it was bad. And
it
was their first try
for a while. Yeah. Oh, it's that puke green color for like 4 years.
Oh my god, the boomer bile color. Yeah.
Yep. I think Grown Gamer in chat has a really good point here that I think is the most unsurprising and terrible thing is, of course, the internet sending modders death threats is ridiculous. They drove one of the best modders out of the community in the community out of the scene in 2 days. Like, come on. If someone who's spending their time making something and decides that they would like to get some monetary compensation for it, that's fine. Don't send death threats to them. That just makes you a monster.
Yes. Don't be a monster. Kill monsters in video games.
If you're good at something, you don't do it for free. I mean,
sure, yeah.
That's what it is, and I think the market will tell them what to charge and what should even if there's a market for it, which I would assume there is.
Well, and there's the other ramifications of this. So for years and years and years, you have companies, specifically Autodesk, that make Maya, a 3D modeling software, that they give out for free to students, as long as they're not making money off the things they create with it.
Yeah, same like Unreal Engine does now.
Yeah, exactly. It is a non-commercial license. As long as you're doing this for no profit, no commercial anything, you don't have to pay a dime. You want a Maya license? That is almost $1,500
Right.
for the same piece of software. They don't actually make a whole lot of money off of that. They make their money off of mass licensing deals with major companies.
Right.
So they kind of don't care, but you know what? If this becomes a big enough thing, they're going to care. And they're going to start cracking down on people that are using, whether it be the free version or a pirated version or whatever. This is going to have ramifications outside of just the modding community. And to another point, the fact, and I think the other thing is the split and, the idea that you're using someone else's creation to build your own creation. I kind of look at that as just using an engine.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe charge modders a license fee, maybe a modest license fee along with the initial game. Like throw an extra $5 on there, and that's your license fee for the game engine to build a mod on. And there's where your terms come in for things like revenue split, and make it a 70-30.
Well, then who's assuming the risk? Let's say your mod breaks the game. I mean,
the consumer's always assuming the risk there.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to update your license terms to include any mods you create for this game, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, unsupported, blah blah blah.
Yeah, exactly. Still.
But if you're charging monetarily for it, aren't you taking some of that responsibility on yourselves? I mean, because I'd imagine the amount of manpower it would take to make sure it's an amicable integration into, like, maybe it has to go through a certification process for your mod to be
just
paid
developing
for.
an expansion for them for free.
And see, this is the great part about this is we don't know.
Yeah,
Like this is the Wild West when it comes to this stuff, and I feel like so much of the conversation around this has been mass misunderstandings of the business side of video games. Is that Bethesda doesn't have to give you any money.
Right.
This is their company, this is their game, this is their engine.
yeah.
So the fact that they're giving 25% back to the modders is obviously not as much as they would make if they were listing their if a modder created a game and listed it themselves on Steam. You'd probably get 70%. Is I think always the rumored number that's bandied about. But I think the real problem, the real concern that I have for this, other than people don't understand how businesses work,
Well, yeah.
is that Steam curation has been bad.
It has, and for the foreseeable future will be.
Right. So I think Valve at some point needs to start doing something other than rate this mod if you liked it, rate it 4 stars or something like that. That doesn't seem to do very well on Steam. Maybe it will because they now have the new rules we didn't talk about last week. Is where you basically have to spend $5 in Steam to be able to do anything in Steam.
Yeah.
Which is great, and will stop a lot of bots from trying to buy, League or Dota items from you. Like happens. Apparently, I have a rare Dota item sitting in my inventory that I got from Lord knows where. And every once in a while, a bot's like, "Hey man, you want $100 for that sword?" I'm like, "No, what? No, go away. Who are you?" I don't know. I think Valve needs to do something, but I think this might be the point where Valve needs to make a decision about curating their own store a little bit better or fixing their marketing.
And specifically curating from humans.
Yeah.
Not some new algorithm they wrote, like having actual customer support go in and validate issues and claims, because, you're already seeing people take free mods that are open source, forking them, and re-uploading them and charging for them, which that is the exact behavior I expected.
Unfortunately,
The minute I heard about this, I'm like, you know what someone's going to do? And then 5 minutes later, I see a thread on Reddit that's like, yeah, this happened.
Yep.
And sure enough, you go there and it's like, oh, well, here's the free version that it's from the actual developer, and here's the one from the knockoff developer. That is not good.
Yeah.
That is real not good.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm very curious to to
That's
watch.
real not good. Write that down.
I'm very curious to watch this over the next couple weeks and see
Yeah.
kind of what Valve does, especially expanding it to other games. Obviously, they would start with Skyrim because it has the biggest workshop support on Steam, hands down. But it's going to be kind of curious to see what happens over the next couple weeks and how this all shakes out and see how the open market deals with it.
Yeah, and like I said, I love this idea on paper. I love the idea of someone who's poured their heart and soul into a mod or something, getting monetary compensation for that. I mean, there's donate buttons. You can do all sorts of stuff. But I mean, if you can actually make a product and sell it,
Yep.
that's really cool. On paper, that looks awesome. And like, I still feel like Valve went into this with like good intentions of giving
like usual. Yeah.
Because I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense for Valve to want to do something like this, considering their history with mods and hiring people from mod teams and hiring students that build interesting stuff on top of other engines. That they would want to encourage that community. So what better way to encourage somebody than monetary compensation?
Yep. So we'll keep an eye on it over the next couple weeks and see what happens. But I mean, this has been a surprisingly large news story, and I'm very excited to see where it shakes loose.
Yeah, and really a lot of the hate belongs on Bethesda because they set that 75%.
Yeah.
That was where that came from.
Yeah.
And anything exceeding a 50% split on that, I think, is bananas.
yeah, probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, let's move away from hateful, angry things, and let's go to tweets.
Yay.
Hold on. They're not hateful, angry tweets?
No, they're coming from the internet's best community.
Oh, right. Yes.
Well, unless you don't know Veronica Vaughn was in Mortal Kombat.
No, I didn't even know her name, so it's all good. All right. First one is from Adderblack39. Are you guys pumped for the Mad Max game coming this September? Looks awesome.
I haven't watched a video of it yet.
I've seen a lot of commercials for the movie, and that looks pretty cool. So maybe the game will be pretty cool. I haven't seen anything about it yet.
Yeah, I'm pretty much 100% neutral. Mad Max was just before my time, so I kind of don't care.
I have never seen the original Mad Max, so I
Really?
don't have
Road
any. I don't have any love for it, but the new one looks pretty cool. Doesn't have has Tom Hardy in it, right?
Yep.
He's always good.
Yeah, that's true.
How can you go wrong with Tom Hardy?
He was even good as young Picard.
Sure.
Clone Picard, sorry, internet. Sorry.
We'll fix that in post. Everything's fine.
Yep.
Nothing happened. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very. So I got a little question here in chat. I'm very curious to see what that turns out to be.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the trailer, so I'm gonna assume it's some sort of like post-apocalyptic quest thing, but not Fallout. Maybe with some
It's
racing.
Monster Garage meets Twisted Metal Black.
That'd be okay.
No.
I'd get down for that with blue face paint. Our next tweet from the other Jay-Z. If it didn't already come in the news, it sounds like Silent Hills may be dead. Hashtag alas poor Sync baby. You killed Hannah. Good job. Yeah, I think that seemed to be a foregone conclusion with all of the Us Weekly drama that's going on with Kojima and Konami.
I like that. Us Weekly drama.
Yeah, it's been a lot like, I saw Kojima tweeted and it wasn't about food and he sent this picture and it said goodbye. And what does that mean? And it's just like, oh my god. Just
Eat your pork bun and settle down.
He's probably being fired from Konami after MGS5.
Know what? If this ends up being like the ultimate go out on top Kojima stunt,
sure.
Because there's a little part of my brain that wants to still believe that. Like, I know it's not.
Yeah, he's getting fired, but you think it's sort of like, and then once MGS5 finishes, instead of a phone call with the president after the credits, it's just Kojima being like holding a copy of MGS6 and he's like, coming out next week.
That'd be amazing.
I still work at Konami. Yeah, I don't know. So if you want to get PT, it's still on the PlayStation Store. It might be going away in a couple days.
Yeah.
So if you if you purchase the free demo, it should be downloadable again forever, unless something really weird happens. But I think when you were talking about Kojima getting with Guillermo del Toro, that was probably not going to happen in the first place.
Oh.
But it would have been interesting.
Yeah, I know Del Toro sent out a tweet that was basically to the effect of like, yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah. I mean, we could have assumed that,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Bummer.
All right, let's move over to emails.
Emails.
We got an email from Paul, aka Urgent X Fury.
Hey.
He wants to talk about GameStop, their retro game buying and selling they've just announced.
What?
Yeah, so GameStop's going to get into retro game buying and selling.
Oh, that's ugly.
I always put the word again on it because that's where that company started back then.
Yes.
But,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool. They're going to bring back Funko?
God, I wish.
They're going to put those horrible stickers all over like really valuable cartridges?
You bet.
At least it's easier to remove.
Invest in Goo Gone now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So he has a couple questions about this, surrounding this. He says, with GameStop announcing they're going to accept all video games all the way back to the NES, do you think they will? Do you think that they will give fair market value for some of the rare games?
No. Absolutely
No.
not. No. I know for a fact they won't. I took in a copy of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on PS2 for $15 and it sold for $90. So no.
Yeah, no, they won't be doing that.
And how does that make you feel? That 500% markup?
It hurts here,
It hurts where the heart is.
wherever that used to be. You know.
Yeah. I'll get another question here from chat. He has another question here that I'm delaying until I move over this other window. I got it. Or do you think they will continue to, the way they have always done business by paying next to nothing for a game and then turning around and charging a king's ransom?
Yes.
Yes. Because
that's their business model.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing about retro game collecting right now that is horrible. Is there are two things that are killing retro game collecting right now. That whatever video game collectors, horrible commission of people that think they can put a game in a case like they do with comics and put a video game rating on it and say like,
are you serious?
Have you not seen those?
No.
They're the worst.
It's CC rated.
You have and they'll do it to like PS2 games.
Ugh.
They'll be like, oh, I have a copy of PN03 that's in this sealed thing and it's rated in 93, so you're going to pay $500 for it. It's like, no.
Ugh.
Not at all. So that's one of the tent poles of what's killing game collecting right now. The other one is our generation is now in its 30s.
Mm-hmm.
We have more disposable income than normal.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people that remember their NES fondly will pay $100 for an NES because they have money.
Are you serious?
Stop doing that.
Yeah.
It's $20. An NES, if it's working, is $20. Maybe $25 if someone fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll go. You know what? I'll go 50 for that really interesting like
The
top-down
top-loading
one.
Sure, 'cause that thing's
I'll do
pretty rare.
50 on that thing.
You should be paying $35, but $50, sure.
You know what?
I wonder what my
50 with a warranty.
I have that copy of that Wii 25th anniversary Super Mario Brothers seal.
It's not worth that much. I have that too.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn it.
it's worth, I think, what it's sold for right now. So
Great.
it'll get up there. They didn't make a lot of copies.
I would love to see if someone would be willing to rip apart a few NESs and like pull like the circuit boards and chips and like refabricate those and like start manufacturing that stuff again.
So there is a company that's trying to do that right now.
Oh yeah?
Yes, they're making new NESs.
Awesome.
They're $200.
What?
It's because they're trying to fabricate NESs again. Because I think the thing that we're all realizing is we can make these 140 pin connectors for the NES forever, but if the motherboard dies, there's not a lot of those left.
Yeah.
So somebody should make... let's be honest. I'm gonna tell everyone a secret. When 3D printing gets a lot better, we're gonna be 3D printing NES motherboards.
Yeah, we are.
We just gotta wait. But
Yeah.
I think there's so much stuff that is a concern about collecting older games, keeping the consoles alive, keeping the cartridges in good condition, that I am concerned about a company like GameStop, which has not been the best steward of preserving video game history, which of course they're not interested in because they're a business, and I feel like that's an unfair expectation. But I don't think this is the best thing.
No.
So, and I know they're going to sell a copy of Earthbound for like $1,200 anyways. So, thanks guys. That's what game collecting is in a really bad place right now, which is why I haven't been buying old games, because prices are through the roof, and this really isn't going to help it.
No.
Oh, the market will bottom out like it did for every conceivable thing.
I mean, it'd be nice, but there's only a finite amount of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, there's only so many copies of Final Fantasy 1 for the NES.
Yeah.
You know. So, and he asked, does GameStop have enough retro backstock, or do they have to start from scratch? I'm sure they had about 20 warehouses somewhere in the Midwest that had just boxes and crates and pallets of NES games. And it finally got to the point where they're like, okay, we got enough stock. We're getting rid of like PS2 games in the stores.
Yeah.
Let's bring in Genesis games. You know, somebody's spreadsheet turned green when it's like, all right, 30-year-olds have enough money, and man, they're looking for a copy of Sonic 2.
And you know what? You know what this is a reaction to? Digital downloads. Guaranteed.
Sure, probably.
Guaranteed this is a reaction to, oh, there's a lot more people selling digital games. They're trying, I bet they're trying to pivot the entire business around this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it at all.
And I mean, Grown Gamer in chat reminds me about the Retron 5. Pro tip for everybody, don't buy a Retron 5. I'm also probably, you can probably walk into a GameStop once they start doing this, and you'll see NES, Super NES, and Genesis games right next to a Retron 5.
Probably,
and
yeah.
I think that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So we never talked about it on the show officially, but don't buy a Retron 5 because they stole open source code for the Retron 5.
Oh, gross.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't. I knew it. I've heard the name Retron 5 like in passing. I've never seen
so
one
it's a
used
cool
on.
idea because it is a console that you plug all your cartridges and controllers into, and it basically, when you say you plug in a cartridge of Chrono Trigger, it dumps that cartridge into memory.
Nice.
And then you can do stuff like apply Game Shark codes and all sorts of stuff to that. So it's cool. But all that stuff they did on the back end to emulate, there's a lot of open source code that they kind of lifted. And they are really not interested. The stuff that's copied under GNU and GPL. So very clear, very bad violations they have done. And they're not interested in addressing it.
And they're not interested in like pushing any of their changes back to those repos. They're not
as of so far. I haven't kept up on it in the last probably 2 months or so. But when someone brought it to light, they're like, "Yeah." So
it's open source. It's free, right?
Right. That's so angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't buy a Retron 5 until they fix their stuff.
Yeah.
Buy an NES and a Super NES. And then just buy an RF adapter which, by the way, Monoprice.com, Monoprice still makes RF adapters.
Monoprice is the best.
Yes.
Yep. I mean, seriously.
If you need 100 USB cables for some reason,
I've actually been buying my HDMI cables from Amazon. Amazon Basics, they make really good HDMI cables. And they're not thick like the Monoprice ones have been.
Yeah.
Because the Monoprice ones aren't really flexible. But yeah, man, Monoprice is just really good stuff.
If you buy a TV mount or wall mount for anything anywhere else, you're a fool.
Yeah, just buy the $5 one from Monoprice. It will hold up your TV and fit every TV made.
Yep.
Yeah.
Monoprice is great.
It's pretty
super
awesome.
good stuff. This show brought to you by Monoprice. All right, let's move on to some chat questions.
Yeah.
Our
Brought
wonderful
to you by Arby's.
Yeah. God, I wish I could eat Arby's. I miss bread so much, guys. There was a show on, I think it was Travel Channel the other day. It's one of those like food paradise shows, all
God.
about hamburgers. And I was just like,
This could be torture. I'm sorry.
oh, so good. Anyway, chat questions. D-Voice says, so I have a question in lieu of tweet or email. What would you guys recommend for a golf game for beginners, preferably on Vita? I've been wanting to get into one because they seem like nice games to just relax with. The cheaper, the better. I saw Everybody's Golf on the PSN store, but I don't know if it's any good. I think Everybody's Golf is Hot Shots Golf, right?
Maybe. I would say the first Hot Shots for Vita. It's really cool.
I have it. It's really good.
Yeah.
And it should be cheap.
Yeah.
I know they came out with a physical version, which is probably cheaper.
Yeah, I got it for like $5 off of Best Buy before.
Yeah. I'd recommend that. It's basically your arcade golf game, but after a while and after you put in a bunch of time, you can make it a pretty tough golf game. So if you really want to, at the lowest level, it's pretty easy. It's an arcade golf game. But when you get to it and as you feel more comfortable with it, it can get pretty challenging, and you can get to the point where you can really train yourself to play something like the golf game or something like the PGA Tour games.
Yeah.
It gets up there pretty good.
I don't know. Most golf games, the bar is pretty low.
Yeah. Yeah,
But,
I wouldn't recommend something like the last Tiger game they came out with, because that was maybe a little too difficult. My wife tried to start playing it at the beginning, and it is not welcoming for newcomers at all. I wish you had an Xbox One, because I'd wholeheartedly recommend Power Star Golf. That game is great. It's fun.
It's goofy.
D-Voice says, I can't find Hot Shots Golf on PSN. Man, I don't remember. If you're in the US, it should show up.
Hot Shots Part 2.
I'm trying to think of...
This freeze frame of Hannah is killing me, by the way.
Am I frozen?
Not for me.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
you.
he's been frozen on mine. He's just with his hand up like this.
Oh.
Get a
Like the last
screenshot.
20 minutes.
He's just saying, hey. Hot Shots Golf World Invitational is the game for Vita. Brand new. It's sold on Amazon for $10. D-Voice says they're in the Netherlands. Sorry. Are there any... There's a Hot Shots Golf for PS1. You might be able to get that through the PS1 Classics. They're basically the same. You can get a Hot Shots Golf from the first one they made until now, and they're basically the same game. So, other than that, I don't think there's really anything that came out. No Tiger games for PSP or Vita. I don't think... Maybe there's one for PSP for a Hot Shots Golf game.
I think there was.
Yeah. There's
been a
one
while.
for everything. If you have a PS2, there's a bunch of Hot Shots Golf games for there. One for PS3. Yeah. Coach Jamal, a chat also asked, fast question, go. Should Sony make remote play on smartphone generally available instead of only Xperia? Because I hate remote play on Vita with the controls and some swear word it cut out. But on smartphone, you can use the DualShock. I mean, they want to sell Sony phones.
Yeah, it makes sense what they're doing. I would love to see it on... I would love to have it on my Nexus 5 or even on my tablet now, but I think the reason they're doing it is because they know the hardware that they have in those Sony phones is going to support it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I think it's a situation where, and there's, you know what, there are ways to get it on every phone, guys. If you go to XDA developers, just... go to the forums, you can find it there. Takes a little bit of work, takes a little bit of know-how if you have an Android phone, but if you're willing to root your phone, you can make it happen. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't... I don't know.
Yeah. It's a bummer that it isn't, but like I kind of get it from a technical standpoint.
Well, and they want to sell Sony phones and they want to sell Vitas.
Yeah.
Neither
absolutely.
of which are selling anything right now. So...
That's so surprising that Vita hasn't taken off.
I know, it's such a bummer.
I don't know what would have saved the Vita. I don't know.
Who knows, man?
And the last question here is from the other JZ. How is Game Shark different from Game Genie? Just different generations? How come we don't see those anymore? So they can sell cheats as DLC like MK10? So, Game Shark and Game Genie were the same thing. Basically, the way they worked is they were intercepting basically the code that the game was writing to the memory on the consoles and rewriting them on the fly.
Yeah.
That's not really possible nowadays.
Well, so it's
Easily.
totally possible nowadays, but you run an extraordinary risk of completely bricking your system.
And also, I think hardware manufacturers would be concerned about piracy.
Yes.
Because when you were talking about the NES and the Super NES, piracy wasn't really that big of a problem because you couldn't make the carts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Small companies were, like the Bible Stories company and other...
Tension.
Tengen,
Yeah.
famously. But you needed to have a factory to make those things. To get, probably the hardest problem in 2015 would be finding a computer with a DVD or a Blu-ray burner in it, or a DVD drive at all. But that's not that hard, other than compared to I'm gonna make a cartridge for an NES in my home. 3D printing, yeah.
Dude, get your silicone paste out.
Yeah, exactly.
My soldering iron.
And I think once more games, I think when you start looking at, there was a version of Game Genie for the PS1 or Game Shark until they removed the serial port on the back. And then they moved to one that was like in the memory card slot, but that never really worked.
Yeah.
And I think people didn't really care at that point. I think the market kind of pushed it out because all the gaming magazines were putting codes in each issue. There was games had the codes in them, and I think you can thank NBA Jam for that probably quite a bit.
Yeah.
NBA Jam and I think MK3 or MK Ultimate.
Yeah.
Where they just put the codes in the game. Where it's like, well, you want to fight with a big head? I guess that's cool. Here's the code. Boom shakalaka. Whatever. And I think the market just pushed it out. Because I think there was a lot of stuff you could do with games where it's just like, you're basically manipulating hex codes.
Yeah.
Or you're changing... it was only hex.
You're generally changing the variables that are getting written in memory. So when the Game Genie would, since it's a pass through for the cartridge, the Game Genie would receive the information from the cartridge, and before it made it to the main board of the NES, the codes you were putting in were essentially key value pairs. So the first portion of it was, okay, this is the variable I want to change. So like it would identify a number of lives or how much ammo, and the second variable would be the value. So you would have like, I want 30 lives, I want infinite ammo, I want this, I want that. So that's all you're really doing with the Game Genie is changing some of the core variables in the machine code of the game.
And I think the only thing we've missed out losing Game Genie and Game Shark is the fun of saying, okay, the booklet I got has Super Mario Brothers 3 in it.
The booklet, don't remember the booklet was in
Yeah,
it's like this
a
thick.
dictionary.
Yeah. Beat someone with that thing.
And it says, okay, here's the code for infinite or 99 lives. Cool. What if I changed that last number? What if instead of a 6, I put a 9 in there? Well, I broke the game. Awesome.
Yeah.
And you can just shut it off, turn it back on, and everything will be fine. Or like, you change one little number in the code, and suddenly the game runs at like triple speed. And you're like, I don't know what I did, but this is awesome, and write it down. Like, I feel like we miss some of that, some of which I think Cheat Engine has maybe replaced on PC, which does a very similar thing. But I feel like on consoles, that's kind of a thing that's been lost to time now, which, for better or for worse, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's especially since these consoles are connected online, it becomes a huge security risk.
Yep.
You could potentially, have someone put a Game Genie out there that just steals your account information.
Sure. Or imagine playing PvP in Battlefield where someone is invulnerable.
Yeah.
And can shoot with no bullet drift over 3,000 miles. Great. That match was fun. Thanks, guys.
I don't even want to see how long that hex code is.
That's Quake 3 rail guns.
Yeah, exactly. That would get me to play BF4. But I mean, like, we have enough problems with non-dedicated servers and ISP issues and lag switches and all this stuff that we don't need someone to be like, oh, well, great, this guy's using wall hacks in Destiny and shot me from another map in another match. Great, that was fun. So, yeah, I don't know. Interesting. But that's all the questions we have this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for sending them in. Please visit us at tvgp.tv. You can email us your fans. Nope. You can email us your fans. Take a picture of yourself. Email us tvgpfans@gmail.com. Yeah, with a fan. You, the fan of the show, with a fan. You can tweet us at tvgp and come on, ask some questions.